bridesmaids wanted.
Oh, no, not this again. This is a TikTok. That's
I'm
gonna age
chronically online.
so badly.
I'm chronically online, and like, I heard like her intonation is just like purposefully. Am I muted? Did I forget to like? Let's see if my good, my ugly voice is not like permeating through like my other things. Hello world. Now you can probably see us. Again, I'm obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter because it's new. Because I'm a living, breathing human, so I have to be. Yes. Yeah. How are you, Jake?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
No.
I am reveling in the joy of doing group tasks as an adult, which I know that they get you to do them for preparation for actually useful or not useful, the things that will happen to you when you're not in school. But it takes me straight back to like group tasks in school and like feeling like you're the one who is trying to do everything and no one is helping you. No one is doing what they said they're going to do. And
I do not miss group projects at all. I did have like a really good setup because I always like had a predetermined partner. Like I always usually have like my sister to be like my partner always, because like it's not like we had to like organize meeting up or like go somewhere else. It's like we went to the same fucking place as a child.
You're the one who told me and Remy to swear less.
I mean, to me, it's like SpongeBob using like the dolphin call. It's a flavor enhancer. It just adds it adds like a quality to the sentence that you can't really get. And
the M and MSG stands for Miles, and the S stands for swearing, and the G
for good.
Stands, yeah.
Miles swears good. I also I'm trying to get back on track, but I do have a story to tell at some semblance of time. We shall get to that, but I think we need to deal with some polls to kind of see what has happened in the world of this. Where are we at? Hello.
Sorry.
Green screen. Here we go. Nice, happy. Here go. So the first poll, biting poll, we were talking about possessive affixes. So thinking about
why did I affix the
it's
is that in the final one as well?
Maybe?
Oh, I'm gonna check.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
But this was governing whether or not we would have possessive affixes. So kind of thinking about if the possessor was a pronominal argument, how that would live. Both polls were landslides. One option definitely took precedence.
I feel like it doesn't count as a landslide if it's 2-1. 1-2-1.
That's fair.
No, it was 1-3-1, wasn't it?
Maybe 1-2-1.
It was 1-2-1. Yeah, that's not a landslide.
No, that's just kind of, I guess, normal. But yes, so the one that won. Goodbye. Was they do glom, so we are going to have possessive affixes, and they kind of do get reduced. I mean, the only one that does is Tishel, which that was already big, but I think it's the fair option.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and then
we got Onsta.
We got Onsta. Oh, hey, this is Onsta. Are you okay? You could like, is OnStar the thing like in the global world, right? You have to have OnStar.
I don't know what OnStar is.
Oh, OnStar is like if you get into an accident, or like if you need to call like your insurance agent, there's a button on your car and you just press it and like, welcome to OnStar. Do you need us to call 911? It looks like you're in a crash, and like they will call like 911 for you. And I guess
It looks like you can. It does say that you can get it in Europe, but I have never heard of it.
huh. They're always like, you get your girl OnStar. I don't know. It's like a luxury thing too. The other,
it might just be that I'm not in the pay grade for luxury. Is it car insurance?
kinda. It's like some makes of cars will like have it built in. I think it's like a Chevy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never had it before, but like I've been in cars where like it's like a blue button and it's like and like a little like star above it.
What was that noise? Wow. You should get a job in voice acting.
What?
Voice acting.
I would. I'm a great actor. I mean, I do it every day. I go to these people's houses. I have a script. I know the script. I have to do it every day. It's very easy. What was I gonna say though? Oh, to me, like luxury in a car is like if like the key can unlock the car from the outside and doesn't have to touch it. My like luxury is like you can connect your Bluetooth to your car. Ooh, fancy. Like I have had like such I don't think vintage, because vintage is like old cars, but like my cars have been like a little bit like older, like than expected. Like my car right now is like a 2009. So what does that put it at? Like 15 years old? Yeah. So her 15 years coming up. Yeah, it's getting there.
Your cars have been not girls but women.
Bubba's car
age.
called 911 for him when he got into his accident. Well, I mean, that's great. I'm glad. I mean, that's OnStar right there. They called for you.
I find it so funny that you're allowed to drive before you're allowed to do other things. I don't know what's allowed. This is like on YouTube. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Like, because you see in films these like American children driving around, and you're like, yeah, but you can't even buy a bottle of beer at the supermarket.
No, they cannot. It is. Oh, okay. I need to focus because one more thing.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
And I was trying to like find out where I could use OnStar, but I don't think that it's that big of a thing in Europe. Like, there's a coverage map for the US and Canada. It doesn't cross the US-Mexico border. Love that.
Love that. I mean, there's a big wall there, so I don't know how it could.
Also, it really wouldn't be very useful in Alaska, apparently.
I mean, there's one city in Alaska, and that's
it wouldn't save you in Ukjavik.
I mean, if God forbid you like drive into a snowdrift, you're screwed. Like, who are you gonna call? Not OnStar.
My plans for driving to Ukjavik are cancelled.
No. That would be fun though. I would love to go. But like, I mean, like by definition, it is probably very hard to get there.
It's like for you, I would guess 3 flights.
Yeah, 3 flights would probably make sense. Like you probably go from like here to Seattle, then like Seattle to like Anchorage, and then like Anchorage up there.
Yeah.
Unless there's like some like weird like Seattle to like Ukjavik like run. There could be. I don't know. Seattle.
I don't think Ukjavik's big enough to merit a direct flight from Seattle.
Maybe not a passenger, but definitely a cargo.
Really?
I think. I mean, maybe so. Okay. Okay.
Well,
my brain's like, let's go on Alaska Airlines Wikipedia page and look up like what destinations there are.
I hope everyone's
enjoying our content. We're good at making it. We have some aspects now we have to deal with. That's fun. And people like to give us the maximum challenge. So the winner of this poll, this was the landslide. This was the 1 to 5 to 1. Was definitely, people did not enjoy my Telicity. I was the only one who voted for that. That's okay. That's fine. But people were really into like the three-way distinction between the perfective, the imperfective, and the frequentative, which I also think is a great idea. I think that it was a more interesting of the true aspects, I guess, if you want to like call it that. But yeah, I have put some like potential source options, and I mean we can divvy this up as we want to, but this is kind of, we'll see where the day takes us. I think. You meant it got one more vote than the others. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It was definitely more well liked than, I think this was definitely the biggest margin a poll went. By pronouns, we'll go here.
I feel like I like your sources for the perfective and imperfective.
Yeah.
More than I like your one for the frequentative. So I'm gonna go to the books.
Go to the books.
I'm gonna study.
When pronouns or pronominal arguments.
But I have to say that I feel like it's almost, I think that conlangers are doing things in a kind of a weird order when we, because we usually think, oh, what aspects do we want? And then we're like, oh, what's the source? Whereas these things, like, I think, for example, about the use of like have verbs and participles in Romance languages, and like how the aspectual distinction from like that in Spanish and in, I think it's in both Portugueses, with like tenho estudado, being like I have been studying. Like it's a sorry, I have a really stupid mixed accent now when I speak Portuguese, because I've only ever been to Portugal, and there's so many Portuguese people who live around here.
Yeah.
Brazilian Portuguese is the one that I have heard the most in media, of course. And it's what you see online the most.
If you,
so it's just like, wow.
We've been watching well, he's already seen it, but like I've been watching or starting to watch this one Brazilian show on Netflix called O Escolhido, and it's kind of like it's like a cult mystery thing where like these three doctors go to this kind of like abandoned village to like give them the Zika vaccine, and then like they basically meet this guy that can like heal, but like it's a very like it's just a really good plot and just a very good like storytelling. I recommend it, especially if like you're trying to learn Portuguese too. Like it's just good to have good media content that like engages with your brain.
Well, it's like it used to be the case. Like it used to be that like I would. The other thing that is hard is that my favorite Portuguese cafe around here, and I say favorite because we have like 3 or 4.
Wow.
Is Madeiran, and their accent is like so tough.
Like, oh my gosh. Is it just like
I can't even approximate it, because like the thing with European Portuguese is it's just like you have the equaduk, like you have these e's that disappear in European Portuguese. And like I feel like the mouth is more open when you speak Brazilian Portuguese, but
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like, I feel like this is all like just silly guessing at this point.
It's like the I don't think the vowels are more like pure, but they're just more like vowel like pronunciation. It's like more like insertion of
Well,
vowels.
because European Portuguese, I think, has more central vowels.
Oh, absolutely, it does.
Um, so I feel like what
Mm.
it used to happen that when I was trying to speak Portuguese, I'd throw in Catalan words, and when I
Mm.
was trying to speak Catalan, I'd throw in random Portuguese words. Oh, and then add to that there was a period of time I was studying Galician, which
Oh
then
God.
completely wrecks your accent because it's like you start speaking Portuguese as if it were Spanish, essentially.
Well, I mean, I have a wonderful expert on Portuñol sitting across from me, so I know all about how Portuguese and Spanish blends together very nicely, especially on the northern area. Where tense is that? Jesus. Oh, there we go. Of Uruguay.
Mm.
Yeah. Ooh, we got some good for. Oh, we changed that, right? Because the dog that was that's something in a pronoun vibe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Um, 3 aspects shall be distinguished in this language: the perfective, the imperfective, and the frequentative. The perfective aspect. I'm gonna just. Why am I writing all this out when I could just go down here and?
So one thing we have said we're going to do, so we need to be mindful of, is that we're saying that there will be different lexic. There'll be different. I'm not sure what the right way is of expressing this is, like lexical aspects. Like we're paying attention to actions. It's Actionsart, isn't it, or is it Actionsart?
Actionsart.
Love German.
Because like anti-fascista Aktion.
Action.
That's what Antifa stands for. That's true. Return. Huh.
What? They have a long A followed by a reduced vowel for the ART, like the AR consonant sequence. So it's Aktionsart.
Oh. Yeah, because they're doing that now.
Yeah. And then like the plural is Aktionsarten. Oh, sorry, Arten.
Atten. Aktionsarten. Interesting. Oh my gosh, German plurals are crazy. Let's see. Dynamic. Okay, cool. Nice. I want to principally say to fall is going to be the perfective source because to take it does give like Yatlao vibes, and also like it's just like one of the most common words we use. So I'm like, just gonna not use it as a derivation.
Okay, so now, okay, opening up the things.
The things.
Okay, where did we do our last bit of error? Where is our future stuff? Is it? Oh, is it? It's just gonna be under tense, isn't it? Because one
Like
thing I
above, it's under the long verb.
okay.
Which we also should probably get like the name situated somewhat soonish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
I also, because like we had talked like about having aspects be like a more reduced like pre-verb on the verb itself a little bit.
I feel like we have almost we said we were going to do one thing, and then we found a cool way to do it that wasn't what we said we were going to do, and now like because the whole like future and non-future thing, right?
Yeah.
I thought like where you have like that considered the typological thing, you're expecting to have the future marked on the verb and the past isn't marked, right?
Yeah.
But we don't mark the future on the verb. We have a auxiliary.
We do.
Which, but I think what we have is cool.
I think what we have is cool too.
But it's I think that the main thing we want to do is to have what we do with the aspects be different to what we do with the tense, I think. Right. And then it's like, how do we sort that out, you know?
Have we
also, should we just copy and paste the poll results into the
I think we can.
Let's move all of this and then work up there.
Yeah.
And then there.
I'm assuming that what is bolded here is
what
the construction is.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is why it's why the possessives are useful because if it's like I came to you, a lovely sentence, it would be wait, why are we? Okay. No, that's not what that means. Wait.
Oh God.
That is I come to the house.
Correct.
And this is I close the door. I will close the door.
Yeah.
I will close the door.
I need to close the door.
So that's not really useful with a person marker. Like it would be like come I meet Nam to singular. So this would be I will meet you, right?
Yeah, that will be.
Okay. So it's I also wait, does it need a lative? I think it does.
It does, but the lative is here.
Oh, okay.
So it makes it like, which I think we just forgot that is a prefix, which makes things also like that much easier. Let's see. In the Bouba language, two tenses, not future, future, not future, covers past, blah 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 blah. The future tense is arrive and over to come. Where it is used as an auxiliary. When used as such, the lexical verb of the construction is nominalized and placed in the lative case. If there is an oblique pronominal argument, it shall be suffixed onto the nominalized verb.
is close semi-effective or not?
One more time.
Is the verb close semi? I'm thinking, I guess it's possible to close something. I know there are tests for semi-effectivity in English, right?
Let me see. I'm thinking of like the Comrie distinction, because that's definitely an accomplishment verb. But I can't remember how he divides it.
Oh, the difference is that it ends by returning to something in its initial state, I guess. That's the it's the fact that it will usually not last is the thing.
Yeah, it is a semifactive chelic verb.
Mm-hmm.
To close. Okay.
Am I right in thinking that there is another conlanger on YouTube with the surname Comrie, or am I?
That's maybe like Colin Gorey is who you're thinking of.
Oh, okay. That's because in my head I was all this time when you were talking about Comrie, I thought you were talking about Colin Cross. I was like, oh, this guy's like really organized.
Yeah, I thought you were talking. I thought you were going to say something about whales.
What?
That's Comrie.
Oh, Comrie, yeah.
Bless. Oh my God, bless you. Sorry, some random person was just sneezing at
The ghosts have allergies.
Like the ghosts have allergies. Oh bless.
We've just had proof of what true semi-effective.
Yes, indeedly do.
Thank you for the example.
Yes.
I hope you return pleasantly to your original state.
I think so. I think the sneezes have ceased.
Have snuzzing?
Ooh, I love that. Just snuzzing. Ugh. It sounds like snuff. If there is no blue crown or given
where was I?
Affixes.
This
to the usage.
These examples are weird.
Possessive affixes. Otherwise,
cutting these things and moving them where they're useful. I'm sure sung streams are going to be the new big thing.
Nominative case. In the genitive case, the genitive case to mark its possession of the verb, and then in the lative case, giving case stacking. Beautiful, beautiful. We first definitely need a a nominalization strategy.
Oh yeah, we need to decide what the form for that is.
Using the whatever
Well, we said it would be a different historical classifier.
Yeah, it's going to be, because I don't know how the stem and the flaw are going to
Well, no, we decided against the boobification.
Thank God.
Because this is where with Yatlao, we originally didn't have any suffixes at all. And then we were like, oh, we'll just make one for this because we don't know how to do it otherwise. and then we retroactively made it a classifier, the E.
Yeah.
So I like we just need something like that that just means like event or a thing. But we need it to come from a noun.
We do. Breath. I'm thinking brain, heart.
I mean, but it's like something more. For me, I'd prefer something that's more tangibly about like an event.
What would mark like in a time? I'm just brainstorming now. To clap.
I was like, oh, I do often think about what the Korean ones are, but obviously it's really annoying for etymology because it's like, oh, we just didn't write. We don't have any languages to compare this with.
Oh well. As we're thinking about events, I'm going to tell the story that I promised to tell. So when I was in high school, and I sometimes will do this, but it's been a minute. I like going on like nice, calm country drives, and just kind of like seeing like like the cornfields and like previously the hills, but I mean there's no hills around us anymore. But like just the kind of like the nature, and like I would kind of just drive and have a good time. So when I was like it was senior year of high school, so it was like 18, 17-ish, probably near 18 because it was during like the AP tests, and there wasn't really anything to do afterwards. So like, hey, once you take your tests, like and whatever you turn it in, you can just like leave school. I was in AP classes. My sister was not out of her own. She just didn't want to take a best for her own choice. So like I'm like, oh, I'm going for a little drive. So this was like around like noon, and like school, and like around 3 I had to go to lacrosse practice after that too. So like I'm just driving, blah blah, just like not even thinking about anything, and hour goes by. I end up in the beautiful, wild, and wonderful state of West Virginia. So like I grew up pretty close there already, so like it was probably like a 40-minute drive if I did it like normally. And then like come like 1:30, okay, I'm driving still. I'm still in West Virginia. And then I get a call from like my sister. I'm like, hey, are you coming to pick me up? Totally forgot about her. Just like didn't believe she existed. I mean, fair enough. But like, goodbye. So I'm like driving on like the highway, like back up. I mean, it's not even like a highway, it's like it's not like an interstate, like a big like major highway. It's like the kind of like the county one where it's like, oh gosh, like like once the freeway stops, it's like country road. So like I'm like going like 80 miles an hour, like 25 miles over what I should be going on this road, and just like weaving into it, trying to make it seem like I did not abandon my sister at school, so I don't get in trouble and I can still make the practice on time. I had like my like lacrosse gear in like the trunk. So I'm like, okay, I gotta drive back. And like, long story short, that's how my sister almost got abandoned from getting picked up when I was just lollygagging down in West Virginia.
Love that.
It was a good time. It was like, I do enjoy like, I don't know. I miss like going on cute little country drives. It's very fun, very rewarding.
It makes me think of I think that they're trying to introduce lacrosse for the LA Olympics.
I think they are.
But isn't there like a whole thing that in national lacrosse tournaments there's a Haudenosaunee team?
The Haudenosaunee team always usually kind of gets in there and usually do really well.
But the question is, are the Hassordani gonna compete at the Olympic level separately or not?
That's a good question. The they're not even teams, I guess. Like they're how do I even phrase this? Like during like the lacrosse like championships, like it's kind of like Little League World Series where like it's by the state and like college students in those states can like
It's
apply.
World Series by the state.
Well, Little League World Series, because in the Little League World Series they have all the states and then they have like the Mexican team, the Japanese team, the Dominican team.
Okay.
It's I don't know how it works. I don't want to watch kids playing baseball. Anywho, but like, yeah, it's Little League World Series.
I don't know what these things mean.
Oh, the Little League is like when your parents
I'm
sign
gay
you
and
up.
British. I don't have any need.
So like I did like Little League for like a month, and like basically it's like your parents put you into like a baseball league, and like you just like play like not affiliated with the school, I guess.
Okay.
But like if you're good, some like there's this whole like culture of like traveling sports teams where like you like apply to be like a part of these like traveling ones outside of like your institution at school, and you will like cross the country doing these like games and matches. Anyway, long story short is that like college kids in like these states can apply to be like a part of like the Haudenosaunee like national lacrosse team, and there's like the Utah team and like the Maryland team. Those are the only three that are like usually like really pretty good and usually end up in the final a lot, which is weird that like the Utah one does so well because like they don't have really like they have the upstate New York connection, but not in the way that like you think they do, if that makes sense.
I don't know what upstate New York. America's very big and confusing, Miles.
It is.
I am a simple creature of counties and having like 3 different names for my country that all mean slightly different things. Also, oh my god, we're not an empire anymore.
No, you're not. You have the sun's gonna set very soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was making a joke-ish about like how like Joseph Smith found like the plates in like New York, and then he died, and then Brigham Young went to Utah, and then that's how they got like upstate New York accent in Utah. Yay!
Yay!
Okay. Anyway, we need a normalization strategy. All of that to say, hello.
I've been furiously Googling.
Normalization strategy.
Verbs. Wait, it's that one? Sorry. I feel like. Oh, wait. Okay. So I'm. Bubba, don't go there.
Oh no, Bubba. Oh no.
I was looking at how they trying to think about the classifiers I am aware of, and it's wait, it's considered different. So it looks like it's usually the because the classifiers are typically physical things, you're usually looking for a noun that then it becomes a physical classifier because they usually will have some kind of shape and form. And then you use the space-time metaphor. So like wars, like the classifier for war comes from a word that likely originally referred to a level up in space.
As like a battleground.
More for splitting the wheat grain from the stuff.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry. For
Splitting
the
wheat, like for threshing.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought for some reason I heard like a wide open field, like kind of like
No,
a
sorry, level open space.
Got it. Okay.
And it's also it's like it's saying it's like the equivalent of a spell or a bout in English, you know.
Oh, yes. I love that. Like Godspell.
I'm not sure how old the use of spell as in an instance of
Spell.
something is.
Hmm.
So like as a shift of work, it's from the 16th century, apparently. Oh, and it's from a verb. I don't speak Middle English or Old English. I'm gonna guess spellin, which is like to represent or take a stand.
Jonathan, this is our normalization strategy. So we're thinking of some sort of noun that is kind of like that distills down into some sort of like event in time sort of thing. I had put like in a brainstormy thing like a ritual, a prayer, a spell, something like that. Like
It's I think that
feeling
I
so
mean
furry.
how does a what on earth like I'm thinking of like you do have like how old is the word while? Is a while it goes back to your Indo-European for rest.
Oh.
It's like related to tranquillus.
Oh, it's related to Albanian breakfast. That's cute. I like that. Hmm. I was also thinking like shadow or something like because like a shadow like you see it like going from like right to the right of you to on top of you to the left of you, just kind of give an idea. But like that's something that's very like transpiratory.
You mean transient?
Yeah, transient. I like that. We're better. Transpiratory.
I feel like that makes me think of like respiratory.
I know it does me too.
It's like
what word did I like laugh at myself saying today? Or retire.
and then it's like it's another word for transpirational. Yeah, it's that word is referring mostly to like loss of water or giving off water vapor.
Oh yeah, because like plants transpire.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Because plants transpire, but we perspire.
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 Yeah, you gotta
Which
get that
bar are you going to? The perspire.
the perspire. Yeah,
Purse
what's it called?
first.
Pat
Transpire into the room.
It is a known fact that a woman do carry a handbag in the evening.
That do transpire.
Jesus. Oh, I got scared. Oh my god. Scary.
Shadow.
Which is okay, no shade, but Shadow is one of the worst names for a dog. Please do not name your dog Shadow. Do not name your dog Buddy. Do not name your dog like Fado. Like no name Fado. And it was their
like
logo.
Portuguese.
But like this is not a good name for a dog.
But who's naming the dog? How do you like FADO?
FIDO. Fido. That's not a un.
I
That's a, yeah.
like. What's a Fido?
I know what Dido is. Fado.
Oh yeah, I was like, sad. I was like, oh yes, that sad European Portuguese music.
A representative given name for a dog. I guess it comes from like
Is
like
it the Latin like loyal?
trustworthy.
Because we don't
Rover?
name our dogs things like Fido in the UK.
No.
I'm like,
This is
people don't do that, do they? I mean, I think in general, Latin is just considered very fancy because I think that you stopped teaching it in the US earlier than we did.
probably
Whereas, like, for my parents' generation, like, there was a whole generation then that was like forced to learn Latin at school.
the only places, at least that I know, that still kind of teach it are like Catholic schools or like somewhat more upper class like school districts.
Because yeah, I think it was from the grammar school system.
Because
There was
like
actually one of my friends got really annoyed because he hated learning the modern foreign languages, but because his parents had studied Latin, he really wanted to, and then they wouldn't let him study it because he hadn't like proven sufficient like aptitude at languages.
poor thing. That's so weird. Well, like I was gonna say that, like, I mean, it makes sense, but like my school would only the school that I taught at, not the school that I went to, but they taught only two languages, like for like people, they Spanish and Mandarin. But like you could like pay an extra cost already on top of your tuition, girl, to like be taught like French or like ASL, which valid, but like I don't know, there were some weird politics, and I don't want to, get in the whole business. Anyway, horrible place. Don't work again. I have better whatever opportunities elsewhere. I digress. I made an executive decision where shadow is going to be our form or non-malicious strategy. I think it's a good idea.
Can we like write out some little examples?
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, oh wait, we can use the ones up here because also we don't have a form for shadow yet, do we?
We don't.
So something short. Maybe is shadow good to use for a glyph or not? I feel like you'd need them to have some kind of like sundial thing, which maybe they would have a sundial.
I think they would. I mean, I do think like Mediterranean cultures did have like sundials. And like, I mean, that's where like Egypt was, like on a Mediterranean, and they had smart people. There you go.
I would say there are smart people in all cultures.
Yeah, you tell them.
Apart from Americans, you're all dumb.
I mean, I've seen some of these people. Oh God. Anyway, I went to vote today, and the lines were like 10 minutes long, which is not that bad, but like for early, yes. But like people just like they don't make any sense, Jake. And like I'm so sorry, but like I it's hard for me to respect you if you vote for against your own interest.
I think that I know that there are a lot of countries that have these like issues. I think the thing that makes it particularly difficult to watch is that it's like in the US, you're picking from essentially far right or center right. Like your Democrats are not all that different to where the Conservatives were under David Cameron.
Yeah. And then any sort of leftism that could happen is A, only during presidential elections, B, some like weird doctor person who C just got endorsed by the Grand Master of the KKK. So like, love that. That's wonderful. Please don't take it out of context.
You mean like Jill Stein?
Yeah, Jill Stein just got endorsed by the KKK.
The thing is that in the US, there's, because of your system, like you're so desensitized for coalitions anyway.
They have no understanding of what it is at all.
Yeah.
Like I tried to explain to my mother what a coalition was. No.
And it's not that I think coalitions are good, but you're never going to get a vote for a third party if you can't get one, because you're essentially only giving votes away from the ones that you think could win. Anyway,
yeah, I could go on a diatribe, a filibuster, come on, relevant word, on like how horrible the political system in America is. I could. I'm not going to, because we have half an hour to do some stuff more important, but I mean, Bouba babble is that I give my opinions on the American political system. And then you're like, yeah, that could work.
Crazy. No, it's like, because I feel like that voting for your, it's not even that these people aren't voting for their own interests. Like, people know that Project 25 exists, right?
Like, so yes, they do, but like, there is some semblance of like, they just want like lower gas prices and lower groceries, and the only way to think that is if like, I don't know.
They give up the right to vote and become like a Christian theocracy.
Yeah. Oh, kind of so. I'm looking at forums. I'm not feeling a provincial for Shadow. Oh no, what did someone say? Oh god.
No, it's just such a weird stream where we're like, oh, what's up form should we do?
I would have no other like I do how are you feeling about like a val initial form that can get
I was thinking val initial, and I was thinking that Jonathan needs some val initial stuff for the glyphs. But if we waste a val initial on this, I think it would be quite weird to have like all of the val initial stuff for any given vowel. Like, it's not like you can go through English and be like, oh, ab, ch, ad. Like, we obviously ad exists.
Yeah.
And ab exists.
And ag. All the words you said exist ish. Anyway, continue.
Atch and ab. I guess ab's short for abdominal. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, an ub.
I think we have enough like val initial like possibilities where like if we kind of expend one, then it's my guess is going to just.
And I guess the other thing is that, well, I don't know.
Okay. Well,
okay, but I guess the question is it going to preserve the final consonant of the? No, because the tone stuff will happen anyway.
Unless NRL.
Yes.
Mhm.
But then the consonant is always preserved.
Correct.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I love that we're going to get insta. Okay.
I'm feeling at least like oh I'm feeling no. I'm not feeling O initial. Not the fracking. I'm feeling something back, but not O. Or oo.
Well, we already have an
Ooh.
prefix.
We do.
So let's go with oo.
Let's we have a what's our oo? We have C is our only one, but where am I? Hello. Hello? The hell? Oh. Let's go with oo. And we have the breath of the alveolar column as a coda, unless we want to just say oo, but that's chaotic as.
Just oo.
Just oo?
No,
Just
sorry, I got distracted by something. Like, I've got so much. I'm like, on the one hand, I'm like, oh my god, I've got nothing going on, and then I'm like, I've got so many things running around my head.
It hits you in like the face. And Bubba, like I'm so glad, or I'm hoping we don't have any more like daylight savings because it just is it's a burden and a half. Anyway, I if I was given a complete hour and a half to complain about
Wait, what's the
I
story
thought
about how
this about how you die. I am very much still alive. My suicidal ideations are actually down to a minimum, so that's great. I don't have any homicidal ones. That's even better. I'm not a danger to myself or others. That's what they asked me in the hospital the other day. That's great.
Why were you in the hospital?
You knew this. I told you this.
Oh, for that?
Yes. They
Oh,
always
okay.
have to ask you.
Okay.
Like, I mean, we're bumping that standard time, Bubba.
365 at a time.
Party girl.
Do a little conlanging.
Oh god.
Oh
my god. So okay, last little anecdote before I forget. As I'm anecdoting, you're doing a coda thinking. But like one person who I was like, who's like kind of like the field organizer for like the canvassing thing, he had on like a 365 party girl shirt on. I'm like, oh, okay, love that. And like, oh, is that a brat shirt? He's like, yeah, you know, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, did you go to like the concert in Detroit? That was like kind of like last week. He's like, nope, my friends were there. I'm like, oh, I want to go too. And then he's like, oh, like, you know, like I want to see Troy, I want to see Charlie. I'm like, back up. There is no way that you come to work with a brat shirt on, you want to see Troy Sivan, and that you are a heterosexual person. I will not believe that for a minute. I will not believe this.
Is this heterophobia? I think that the
Yes.
minority of straight people that follow our goings on are in need of protection. I think in this election, there's a very high risk that all Americans are going to have to transition.
I mean,
and that must be really tough for them right now.
I mean, you see how the poll lines are. I mean, just wait till the surgery lines. We're going to be out the door. I mean, well, we first need to start with the illegal aliens, and then we on to the citizens. Okay, I digress. Any coda that you? Oh, Jesus Christ. You got coda boots.
I just wrote them all out.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do you want to like
9, 10, 11.
Them 12, through the sound changes?
Sure. I mean, let's do it.
Me or you?
And then apply. So I mean,
Okay, you've got them up.
pretty. Oh gosh darn it! I not want to do that.
I feel like the pharyngalized ones are gonna end up weirdly long.
Yeah, any pharyngeal one is already bisyllabic. Yeah.
But it starts with a vowel, so
So it's not like horrid.
it's not going to be like CVCV. It's just CVC. No,
VC.
VCV.
Yeah.
Visaba.
Which I think what could happen is a lot of our forms are vowel final. So potentially we could get some like
we never sorted out what was going to happen with that, did we?
Well, hold on. So like what I'm thinking of is like the oo could potentially, if we are doing one of these bisyllabic ones, that oo could just kind of plop out and leave like a high tone on that previous vowel, maybe some rounding if we're feeling fancy, and then it's kind of whatever that the CV gets left behind. So if we're thinking like what's a good verb? Sure. No. It's a good verb, but I want to. Sure. So ta, for example. So like if we say that to nominalize it. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you just can't see this. Hold on, we're gonna back up because hold on. Whoa. Ready? Ah, love that. Anyway, but like let's say that like this becomes ta and this becomes you. That this kind of gets reduced down.
But remember that we've now undone the automatic high toning.
Oh, yes, which makes that even way better because now this just kind of becomes this.
Wait, what are the 3-day after Thanksgiving sales of war?
3-day after.
Is this about the opossums hiding in the thicket?
Oh, the 3 Black Fridays of war.
Is that? But there's Black Friday and there's Cyber Monday.
And Giving Tuesday.
What?
Giving Tuesday.
I was like, it's Giving Tuesday.
That's the charity one.
Okay.
I don't think it's anything for like Saturday or Sunday. I don't know either. But yeah, this is kind of like it gets so reduced, and then we're left with kind of this like high tone. Potentially even going like.
It would work with any of the pharyngalized ones.
Correct. I just chose my favorite.
Right now, we're suggesting that there is no effect on the vowel.
Yes, right now that there does not have to be any effect on the vowel. There could be some like kind of rounding. I could see it going to like I don't have an O high tone at my disposal, but it could go to that potentially. This could be a poll. Because I think the form is solid question.
Yeah.
What else? I think like rounding or no rounding, because like a plus u is going to get us O. I plus u is going to get us U.
Mm-hmm.
U plus U is going to get us U. And then O plus U is going to stay O.
Or is it? Well,
or it could be either or. I actually, what could be cool is like if like we have a pharyngalized consonant versus like a non-pharyngeal environment based upon kind of like the vowel quality of it. Pharyngalized, yeah. I could not. God help. No. Yes. I'm not. Oh, goddamn numlock. No, I want the numlock. Okay. Yeah, I think it's not a bad system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which means that I'm gonna I like the N a lot. I don't
We
know.
haven't used it anywhere else, have we?
No.
Whereas
Well, this is word
those two
receiving.
we have, haven't we?
You are. We definitely have.
Yeah, the L is at the front, but
We have not used any pharyngalized N in any position.
Okay.
Yep, that's the one.
So we're not pulling it.
I think if the only thing we wanted to pull is
because the D would end up like the R, which we don't want.
Yeah.
The T
is T, S is S, and Z is Z. And then L is approximate.
I don't want to use the L.
I don't either.
Do the people who are watching want a vote or
um let's see. Do you want to vote?
I feel like I think voting for forms is a little bit silly.
I think we already have the decision.
I feel like the question is maybe with the vowel change or not.
I agree. That is the question at hand, whether or not there is going to be whether or not it's just the vowel stays or there is some rounding and backing happening. That I think is like one of the polls is like the form we're good on. How the nominalization resolves is another thing. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Let's put this on English. Shadow. Shadow is a noun, and it's going to have the form UN.
I think na is technically I think it's one form of nominalizer in Japanese. So that's fun.
We exclude a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing with the vowels, I think that at the point that we are doing it, we could in theory have an E, couldn't we?
We could in theory have an E, yeah, if it was I initial for sure.
So so L would be O.
E plus U would be O.
How do you do the fancy arrow? Is it
equals equals?
Okay.
Yeah, because dash dash is that, and then I think this is left. Yeah, trust me, this that shortcut saved me so much time typing up like reactions that like it was like very helpful. Yeah, I
I
like.
feel like Tethys, we haven't done as much cool stuff because we ended up having a very long rant.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Ranting is fun. Ranting is a talent I have. It is an Aries full moon this weekend, so I am like, I also am a fire moon, so like my emotions are just like, I have opinions this week.
Okay, so the poll is vowel change, no vowel change.
Vowel change, no vowel change.
Easy. So let's get back to I had closed the door.
I had closed the door.
So is it going to be full lock or lock full? I feel like sorry.
Fall. Yeah,
We're doing
fall,
close, aren't we?
close. I 4.
Okay. And then, so we need a form for full.
We doing a form for fall. Now, Jonathan, is fall a good source for a glyph? Ooh. Oh.
Autumn.
No. Tanal is not a bad form though.
No.
Actually, no, that's too big. That's way
no, which would just become
no.
no.
I actually don't mind that.
And I guess the question is, what would it be in the end?
Because these are gonna unless
yeah. We want something that's gonna glum nicely.
Yeah. So let's think like maybe like either
Are we looking for CV maybe? Probably.
CV or a CV like obstruent. Ooh, for those that any ideas for some forms? CV, ideally CV obstruent will be accepted as long as that obstruent is an alveolar one. You have form.
And also probably we don't want one that is pharyngeal here.
Yes, ideally not. Ideally something that just so plain TD. Actually, no, not Q&A. No. Oh well. Oh, Mary Mother in Heaven.
We probably are gonna have a vowel, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, there's no escaping.
Well, I guess it's the. Do we have like a vowel initial verb yet?
No.
Okay, can we make one, please?
Yeah. Let me make sure. Oh, we do have one. To be read is vowel.
Oh yeah. No, but that's a stated verb.
Yeah. Then let's go.
I had read.
I had read.
we use this for the passive of to read.
Then let's do Do you want O initial? We have O. We have U. Let's I.
Mm-hmm.
I is ease. Ease.
Ease.
Ease. It's
Make
going to
it the
become
copula.
E. E or yeah. E. Which would make this eagle. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, if we currently would say, no, I can't remember our rules about the tone, Sandy.
It'll be high-low. Have it somewhere.
Low, when does the low override the rising?
Tone and grammaticalization. Yes. So it is a full tonal suppression. So falling, rising becomes high-low. Actually, falling anything becomes high-low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so eagle con Mao.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Then for I am closing the door. I am closing the door. Lives.
Do you want to entertain the idea of reduplication for the imperfective?
I would love to entertain the idea of reduplication. I think,
and in an old way or in a new way. I think if we make it old, it's gonna be interesting. Like, I don't know how many people are watching right now. 3. I think we over ranted.
I think we did over rant, but I also think that like this is going to be a long discussion about like how this will be played out with reduplication.
And
I think that this could also potentially be the second poll if we wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's now a matter of like, okay,
let's make it the other poll.
Let's go to Poland.
Don't need to worry about that.
I think the binding one is definitely going to be like
the reduplication.
Oh, I thought it was in the vowel. Because that's like a
okay. I feel conflicted because in some ways I would like to give the more important decision to the patrons.
Ooh, because they pay us. That's true. They are investing.
On the other hand, I do see where you're coming from with. But the thing is, it's for duplication. It's going to require looking. I think we'll look at the sound changes ourselves.
We have the power to give the options.
Although it might be worth leaving it. I don't know if it's worth leaving it or not, because if one of our polls is do the vowels, like if we do, we've got like.
I will also say I think that people would want us live to work out reduplication. Yeah.
So there's the reduplication question, and then you've also got this whole vowel sequence to new vowels or not question. And this could be independent.
It could be.
Is independent with an E or an A?
With an E.
With an E. I was right.
E and N-T N-T-E. Something like that.
So the reduplication specifically is, so if verb reduplication equals imperfective, is it old or not? So let's make some examples. So Benus is quite heavy, but I guess that will demonstrate the point well.
Yes, I'm also going to put in ku as well.
So and we should throw the ot in as well.
Okay.
So Benus right now becomes Benu with a falling tone. If we allow reduplication in an old way, then it could be just like, if it's separate, it doesn't really matter if it's old or not. You know?
It doesn't.
It would just become Benu with some tone. If it's younger, then, or if it merges, then it would be like Benu Numpnu, and it's hilo, right?
Hilo will become
and then that would become Nubnu versus Nubnu. But then if we think about the ot, then right now it could either be like ota, or like was red. Well, no,
is like continuing to be read. Well, we know because we said that stative verbs can't take imperfective. It's only they can only take frequentative marking.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one. But I will get another. There has to be another one that ends in a pharyngeal. Oh, we can do Trisha. Oh, I guess there is.
What?
There okay, there isn't one that ends in like I know why you're choosing. Well, for intents and purposes,
I mean, even wait, no, that's not a noun. The verb, I mean. No, let's use the chosa, right?
Yeah.
So, which is cry.
So Tethys, the question is whether or not duplication will happen early in the language development or later. And the implications of it are kind of how tone will be worried about, and as well as if there is like this kind of like pharyngeal A popping out, how that's going to affect things too. Yeah. Whether or not it's that versus that.
So at least to mark the imperfective aspect, I think that this might be throwing too much up personally.
Yeah.
Because then we're going to follow. Oh no, because this would become just
Saw.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we don't have any idea of where the historical stress would have been. And
the one thing we could think about is,
I guess it would be
if like the code of fringalization gets lost word internally.
But we would allow currently sta, which would become sata. Sata.
Yeah, it will be. We saw.
It doesn't actually do what I was interested in. I think that you would expect it to go here because I think that it makes the most sense with the popping out of the. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Miles. I think it's maybe more of a headache than it should be.
Yeah, which I think is like why I think doing it live might prove more fruitful, because there's some thinking out that definitely needs to be done.
Should we just make the question if it's reduplication or a prefix?
I think so, and I think that like we could do like, if worse comes to worse, we don't have to use reduplication for this purpose. We could use it as like a cheeky little diminutive, or like a cheeky little like nominal thingy thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Luigi.
We were thinking about using it for the imperfective. And I think that's kind of where we're leaning, is that like whether or not, like, I'm sorry, the pull RE reduplication is whether or not it's going to be used for the imperfective, instead of kind of like how it will be used for the imperfective, if that makes sense. Kind of entertaining its possibility for being used for this purpose, rather or not if it's being used at all, because it could be used. And I agree with you. I think it's a great usage, if you will, for l'imperative. Imparfait is the imperfective, but it's not. It is. It's not. French is weird.
It's really annoying because our words for this stuff is all rooted in Latin, and Latin isn't as discrete in its categories as would be useful.
Thank you. Nick Nelson passes A-levels in French. You know that?
Yeah, he's a native French speaker. Did you have any native speakers take the exams in their native language in your classes?
Yeah, so like you could, like, a lot of like students who were native Chinese speakers will sign up for the AP Chinese test, but like AP language tests are like notoriously difficult for doing well on, because like, I mean, no shade, well, full shade is like AP, College Board, SAT, it's all a for-profit institution. Like it's all money. Root of all evil. But yeah, like we have oh god. I'm not watching live, and I saw my little bit, like some like random blue splotch. And it's like 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, it is officially 1800 hours on this beautiful day of October 16th, 2024. Parting messages I have is make sure that if you have not voted and you are an American citizen, please vote. Please.
My message is, I'm sorry that we got so much. Genuinely, I think that's worse than any Lifetime studio.
This was pretty bad. This was the rant. The rant of the century. And I mean, if Yins want to pay more for it, I will rant my heart out. But on another dime, we'll call it something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. We will get some polls out for you. And also, if you are in the Lang Time verse and you are working on your challenge, you, I believe, have 8 days-ish to get it in, so a little bit more than a week. Make them proud. Do your best. And then, yeah, tomorrow's Lang Time. Saturday morning is Tongues and Runes.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned, I think that Madeline James of Role Building fame has done some calling streams. Although I do know that it's more like a coding thing. I have not watched them, but if that is something that you want to kind of explore, I say go for it. Support her channel. She's like bang up. Any final plugs that you have?
No.
Okay.
Like, I know. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you for
bearing with us.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like, subscribe.
Vote.
Vote. Please vote. But yeah, we'll get a poll out for you when we feel like it.
No, soon, Miles. Soon.
Yes. Soon. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yay.